I think we're going live now. Okay, wonderful. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to view all of our lovely adoptable cats. My name is Prabha Raghavan, and I'm the virtual cat adoption event lead at CDCK Rescue. We are a rescue based in DC. We were founded in 2011, and since then we've saved over 12,000 pets. We don't have a physical shelter, so all of our adoptable dogs and cats actually stay with lovely fosters, some of whom you're going to meet today. If you want to know more about us or connect with us on our socials, you can find us at CDCK Rescue on Instagram, at City Dogs Rescue City Kitties on YouTube, and at City Dogs Rescue on Facebook. If you're interested in donating to the rescue or sponsoring an animal's care, or if you would like to volunteer as a foster with the pets or through social media and marketing, or if you would like to adopt one of the lovely cats that you see today, our website is citydogsrescuedc.org. Please feel free to ask any questions throughout the event. We will be monitoring both Instagram and YouTube during the session. And with that, we've got about 6 cats today, and we're going to get started with Catherine, who is fostering Jill, a 10-month-old tuxedo domestic short hair girl. Just before we get started, I want to just plug her link. So if anyone is interested in looking her up, it is cdck.cc/adopt hyphen Jill, Jill. And with that, Catherine, I know you've been fostering Jill for a few months now, and I guess you've had enough time to get to know her little quirks and what makes her special. So I would love to learn more about what really like stands out about Jill to you.
Hi, thanks so much, Prabha. My name is Catherine. I am a volunteer foster parent with City Kitties Rescue, and this is my foster cat, Jill, who I've had since May, and she has just blossomed into such a sweet cat. I will say she started off as a really sweet cat to begin with, but in particular, she's very smart. She's high energy, very, very playful. If I call her name, she will come to me. She's definitely the first one to greet me at the door, and she's extremely cat friendly. I have an older 3-year-old cat. Who is not the biggest fan of other cats. And over the last couple of months, Jill has wound her way into Pippa's heart and, has not been deterred by Pippa growling, hissing, or swatting. She just really wants to be Pippa's friend. And she's actually got a couple licks from Pippa the other day, which was really sweet and quite a breakthrough. But I would say that Jill would definitely thrive in a home with another friendly feline. Because she's quite high energy, she does need some of that energy to be redirected via, regular play sessions. And oftentimes, as I said, she likes to play and chase around the other cats. It's never aggressive play by any means, but if she does get bored, she will sometimes have some odd behaviors. In the last couple of weeks, if I haven't played with her on her schedule, she sometimes will pick a various item of clothing and drag it from one room to the other as a means to kind of get my attention, I think. But she's quite playful, very food motivated. I'll see if I can give her one of the famous churros. But she is a really sweet cat who is definitely looking for a home that is quite active. And here we go. This is another cat, my cat Paloma. We're very food motivated on all parts here, but let's see. Hey, Jill. Come here. Yep, see, there we go. She's quite food motivated and ready to go for it, as they both are. But no, she's a wonderful cat, very playful, high energy, would do well with another cat in the household. And happy to answer any other questions that folks might have about her.
Yeah, I think what you said about her picking up clothing and dragging it from one place to another, that sounds like she'd be great help during laundry day. So that's lovely to hear. Do you have, more information on her favorite activities? You said she loves to play. What
Yeah.
kind of games does she like to play?
So she definitely loves the wand toys. That's probably her favorite because she gets to interact with the human and, play. And she definitely goes after the kind of the chasing the wand toy around. But she also gets a lot of enjoyment out of interactive toys, such as the one that I have here that's, somewhat mechanical. Some interactive toys are scary to cats. She is not intimidated by them. I would say that she needs a couple of play sessions a day, at least, one in the morning and one in the evening. Um, but her favorite toys have got to be probably this one called the bird, which she will, as you can sort of see, although she's actually, nope, she's distracted by the food. She says, as you can see, she's very food motivated and she wants that instead of the toy. But let's see. Hey, Jill. Anyway, yeah, very playful. And any other questions?
Yeah, you said that she's very high energy and very playful, and that she would do well in a home with another friendly feline. Do you think she would do well with a feline that matches her energy, or do you think she needs a friendly feline that could maybe like bring her down like in terms of calmness?
That she would probably do best with another playful feline cat who can somewhat match her energy level. Just because, as I said, she does get along with other cats. Pippa, my cat, who I mentioned before, is much more low energy. And for whatever reason, Jill has still been able to wind her way into her heart. But Jill is definitely high energy. I would say my cat Paloma here is also high energy, and they get to playing and chasing around all the time. They'll wrestle with each other, and it's pretty cute. They're definitely good playmates. For sure. And I think that is definitely the kind of household that Jill would thrive the best in.
How do you think Jill does with families that have young children?
So I think that she would probably do best with kids that are a little bit older. She does sometimes get a little bit overstimulated when we go for the pets, and by overstimulated, I mean sometimes she'll let you know that she is done being pet via little nips. They're never really too hard, but I would not want a little kid to necessarily be deterred by that. Um, but yeah, she's definitely, I can sometimes when she's tired, I can actually give her belly rubs, which has been pretty cute. Um, but yeah, definitely older kids who would want to play with her on a regular basis and really engage with her because she's definitely the kind of cat that needs that kind of attention.
Okay, that's wonderful. Just before we wrap up Jill's session, do you think you could share some anecdotes? What really stood out to you about Jill that makes her unique in your eyes?
So I would say Jill is a snuggly cat. She's very affectionate. She's incredibly sweet. When I first got her, her first, without, barely knowing me, her first instinct was to come sleep by my head. Now she seems to prefer to sleep by my feet, but my other girls will not sleep with me nearly as much. And Jill is definitely the kind of cat who wants to be near humans. She'll sleep throughout the day. But if she hears a particular toy going around, she'll be like, "Oh yes, it's time to play," and she'll get up for that. And particularly if any food is involved, as it looks like there's some food here, she is going for it and she will not let an closed packet stop her.
That is the mark of a highly intelligent and resourceful cat there.
She's
Thank
quite resourceful.
Thank you so much for telling us or letting us into Jill's life and learning a little more about her. I love the cute little mark on her nose.
I know it's very distinctive.
It is very distinctive. If anyone listening today and watching today is interested in adopting Jill or learning more about her, like I said before, you can go straight to her profile if you type in cdck.cc / adopt-JILL. I will repeat that once again. It's cdck.cc /adopt-JILL. Thank you so much for your time, Catherine and Jill. And we're going to move on to our next participant over here. This is Evelyn Huang with Shaya, who is a great domestic short hair who is 3 years and 8 months old, and she's a female. Before we get started, I'll just give you her link, which is cdck.cc / SHYA. And so with that, Shaya, do you think you could tell us sorry, Evelyn, do you think you could tell us a little more about Shaya?
So hi everyone, this is Shaya, and she's a 3-year-old domestic short hair. She's been with me for a solid 1 month. Um, and I would say she's pretty calm. Most of the day, she's doing fine by herself. And most of the day, you don't really like to spend too much time playing with her. She's fine playing with herself and even without um without you being there, so which is kind of a, I would say, kind of a good thing for me, because most of the time I was, occupied with my daytime job. So yeah, it's glad to know that she's doing fine with herself. And her favorite activity, I would say, is grooming. So like you can see here, she's already purring. Yeah, she definitely loves grooming. Yeah,
That is adorable.
she is. Um, yeah, so and I think one thing that yeah, I would like to know the potential adopters know this. She does have ear infection, and she's under medicine and undergoing treatment now. But that is
Okay,
not a big deal because
thank
we
you. Yeah.
are taking care of her ear infection.
Thank you for letting us know that. And it doesn't seem like it's anything serious or anything that we need to be concerned about. It looks
Yeah.
like it might just resolve soon.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you for that. Do you think you could tell us a little more about Shaya's day? You know, what does her typical day look like?
Um, so most of the time is spent on sleeping. So this is her favorite spot. So when I was doing my daytime job, from the camera I have here, I can see most of the time she's sleeping on that scratching board. And when I got home, I would spend some time playing with her using the wand. So this is one of her favorite, but maybe she's not in the mood of playing with me.
Probably still because it's during the daytime and in her mind you're not back from work yet.
Probably. And also I would spend some time grooming her, and she's into grooming.
Oh,
So
yeah.
is, yeah, super calm, maybe a low-key cat that it would be wonderful to have her if you don't have that much time or energy to play with her, but it's good to have her in your home and have her company.
Yeah, that's I think she sounds like a lovely low maintenance cat for anyone who's maybe not who got like a very busy lifestyle
Yeah.
and needs to be at work a lot. Do you think you could tell us a little more about, what type of home might be best for Shia? Does she get along well with other cats, or do you think she might need to be an only cat?
So since she's the only cat I have in my place, so but she's been friendly with me. So I would say if you have other adult cat that could get along with her, then I don't see there will be any problem with her being with another cat. Um, but how to say, but she could be protective sometimes. So, I mean, if other cat is not that, I guess if other cat is not that friendly with her, then she might fight back. So I would say she would be best to maybe would be best to be the only one cat in your home. But if you have other adult cat that's also um, how to say, but other adult cat that could just get along with her, then I don't see there would be any problem.
Yeah, maybe she might need a slow introduction and just to see
Yeah,
if that does work out.
yeah,
But I guess it's safe to say that right now we don't know if she gets along with other cats, and she might just be like a people's cat, as
yeah,
opposed to a cat's cat. Um,
yeah.
do you think you could tell me more about how Shia likes to play? I know she's pretty low maintenance, but you said that she has a wand toy. Are there any other games that she likes to play?
Um, so far I haven't noticed she's interested in other toys because yeah, she's only been with me actually just 1 month, so I feel like she's still in the stage of exploring around and getting used to this environment. And yeah,
Do you think she's food motivated?
to some extent, yes. I would say one thing that's interesting is that she's not really into treat or snacks, but she's more into entree food like wet food and dry food, any kind of entree.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Yeah,
So I guess if you want her to sort of spend a little more time with you, you'd want to break out the good wet food and dry food. Are there any specific brands that she finds appealing?
um, a specific what?
Apologies. Any specific brands of
Oh,
wet
okay, yeah,
food or
sure.
dry food?
So the wet food I go with is instinct wet food, and she's into any kinds of chicken or beef or salmon. She's not picky. And dry food I go with the Purina Pro Plan, and I just chose the chicken one, which I feel is safe because my previous foster cats they were all into chicken, so yeah. But I don't think she's quite picky on entree. Yeah, and she's not letting me to brush her belly.
Well, that's so sweet. She
Oh,
really she really trusts you if
yeah.
she's letting you do that. Do you think you could tell us a little more about what that is? That a brush or is that like a massager?
Oh yes, this is a brush.
Oh,
Just
oh,
a
that's
normal brush.
okay. So anyone who's looking to adopt Shia, make sure you have a brush handy because as you can see,
Yeah,
she's just been going for the spa day that she's getting, and she seems to really enjoy it.
she
Um,
is.
Yeah, are there any stories or anecdotes that you would like to share about your time with Shaya and something that you think really like stands out about her that makes her unique?
Um, so I would say Shaya, she's like She's the first cat I met that would let me rub her belly in the first, the first day we met each other. And that kind of surprised me. So I would say she's definitely a friendly cat, and also calm and low-key cat. You would enjoy her company.
That's lovely. What would her forever home look like? Her perfect forever home?
You mean
Just the ideal home for her.
so?
Who is she looking for?
So I would say maybe her forever home would be like an adopter that would just have at least I would say 1 hour to maybe play or groom her. That would be quite enough for her, and most of the time she would just be fine doing on herself. And also maybe it would be ideal that there's maybe no children in that home, because she sometimes she would be protective, that if she's had enough of you like petting her, she will let you know. But I mean, I just don't want any children, or yeah, get hurt.
Yeah,
So yeah,
thank
maybe
you.
that would be, yeah.
Okay, so she could be adopted by families, maybe not those who have very young children.
Yeah.
Just older children would do well, and just a family that has an hour to play with her, or someone who's just working but has the time to groom her and can spare an hour every day to make sure that she's getting some exercise with her wand toys. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for
Of
telling
course.
us about Shaya today, Evelyn. And I'm going to drop her link again. It is cdck.cc/shya. That's cdck.cc/shya. Thank you so much, Evelyn and Shaya. And now we're going to move on to Abigail, who is fostering Stephanie, a gray domestic short hair, 4 years and 5 months, also a female. Her link is cdck.cc/Stephanie, which is spelled Stephanie. Abigail, tell us more about Stephanie and your time with her so far.
Sure. Well, I'm doing a good video of her now so you can see one of her favorite activities, which is being pet. She is, I think with the first two cats, you got it. I feel like a good spectrum of personalities. I would say, she's probably more closer to a Shia than a Jill. A little, well, quite a bit low energy, I would say. She's 4 years old and let's see if I can get her back here. Um, but yeah, she's definitely more of a low energy, doesn't really uh uh she's not like the most playful cat, but she loves to lounge around and be pet and print and like the little princess that she is. Uh she is very shy. That was the immediate thing when I first started fostering, and I've had her now for almost like about 3 to 4 months now. Um it took her about, I would say, a couple of weeks for her to actually come out and let me do this with her essentially. The first couple of weeks, she would immediately hide and I wouldn't really see her during the day. I knew she would like walk around a little at night and explore, but for the most part, she was still kind of, it's essentially like adjusting to being in a new place and with yeah, a new person. And it took some time and some patience. I mostly kind of just spent it pretending like I had an imaginary cat and would leave food for her. And then come back to take her dish the next day and I would see it, she was eating. I would go to the, I would go to her litter box and see that she was, using it. So she's was good about that, but I knew that she was uh, it would take some time for her to really trust me. So a couple of weeks that eventually did start. Let me give her some treats. So she's getting probably getting a little starting to realize she's trapped in this room.
Oh
Um,
no.
but she's honestly she's like the really sweet thing with her is I think because she started out so shy, I've gotten to really like after she's taken the time to adjust and really get to know me and realize that I like pose her no threat or anything. She's really become a lot more affectionate and warmed up to me and gotten to the point now where like she'll jump into my bed and wake me up in the morning to let me know that it's time for her to have breakfast, or she'll sit next to me while I'm working or while I'm having dinner and I've convinced her that she's not getting any of my dinner. And she likes like it's been basically like a total 180 personality wise. So I think like once she's like realized that like she's like developed that trust with someone, she's uh she becomes very easygoing and calmer like she is right now. And if you can tell now, she is also very food motivated. So once she like I was away for a week and I had a cat sitter like drop in and feed her while I was gone, and she made friends with that cat sitter like by day two, which surprised me. But I guess, food is a really good bonding, way to bond. Um, and yeah, she's very low maintenance. She is missing a couple of teeth, and which has been, there's nothing extra like care wise she needs for that. Just she does because of that. Can only eat wet food or like very soft, uh, chewy food. Um, but otherwise, yeah, she's had no accidents. She's good about just scratching the like cardboard scratching pads I have for her, and she really just kind of wanders around and looks at things curiously and otherwise kind of lounges around the rest of the day. But she's been very easy to care for, and she's become sweet, even sweeter and more fun to take care of the longer I've had her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's you've really given us an insight into Stephanie's personality and just how to really win her heart, which is through treats, clearly.
Yeah.
Um, sorry. Abigail, do you think you could tell us a little more? I see that there is it looks like a not a puzzle feeder, but it's like a mat. Do you think she's open to, puzzle feeders or any other kinds of mentally stimulating activities when it comes to her treats?
I think so, yeah. So what I have here is like a licky mat. And I think they have them for dogs too, and I just got this one off of Chewy, but because most of what you can eat is has to be wet or soft. I like these because I can use the true treats with them, and it gives her a little bit more activity than if I were to just give it to her directly. Because I can't really, because she's kind of limited in what types of treats she can have. But I think other food puzzle, I haven't tried other food puzzles with her yet, but I think those could definitely work. It just might be a little bit messy with the wet treats, but she's definitely food motivated, so she's like, she will try her hardest to get at them, and I think it would keep her occupied for quite a bit. I'd say at the same time, she doesn't really need a whole lot of stimulation. She's very independent, and she's pretty okay with just kind of lounging around, and as long as you give her daily pets, um she's pretty satisfied by that.
That's really good to know. So clearly very low maintenance, maybe might do well in a house where with people who have like a long work day going on. Do you
Mhm.
think she does okay being left alone for
Yeah.
long periods of time?
Yeah, yeah, it's she's really complemented my lifestyle quite pretty well since I do work long hours and I'm usually in the office Monday through Friday. Um, if anything, it actually helped in the early couple of weeks when she was very afraid of me because it would give her some time to just kind of be by herself and wander around my place and start to feel a little more comfortable living here. But even beyond that, like I've like I said, I was away for a week a few weeks ago and I just had a cat sitter drop in the morning and in the evening and she seemed fine with fine otherwise being by herself the rest of that time.
That's really good to know. Do you have any idea of how Stephanie might do with other cats? Do you think she needs to be an only cat?
So I haven't observed her with other cats. So I can't say for certain. I think if she were with another cat, it would probably should be like another kind of low energy or maybe older cat that wouldn't I think that would complement her personality probably best, uh but I couldn't say for sure because I guess what I could see is maybe with another cat, her being her keeping herself a little more closed off and a little more hidden, possibly. But it's possible. I think it could certainly be worth trying. I would say she definitely doesn't need another cat. Like she's pretty good. She's pretty like I said, independent and is good being a solo cat as well.
Okay, that's really good to know. How do you think she would do with families? Do you think she would do okay with families, or do you think she might be better off with people who either don't have children or have older children?
I think uh I think she might be okay with younger children. I've never seen her show any sort of aggression, um but I also haven't observed her with younger children, so I couldn't say for certain. The only thing I would be worried about with younger children, especially if they're a little more rambunctious, is again, similar to like another cat, I think it might take her longer to adjust because I think she gets um it takes her a while to adjust to new people. And I think the louder, more in her face they are, the longer it takes her to feel comfortable and safe. I mean, I've had guests over and a couple of them have visited like several times and after being here for multiple times, like eventually she kind of um comes, oh, she's saying hi. Uh, she has started to like stop from hiding, but but I would say most of the time, if I have a guest over, her tendency is to hide. And I have a feeling she would probably be that way with younger kids as well, but she might, uh,
Okay, yeah, that's really good to know. Thank you for that. And it looks like just in terms of playtime, it's not necessarily something that she's really into. So
mhm.
unless you think that there are any toys that she is interested in.
Um, I have tried wand toys with her and she looks at them. She once in a while will like paw at them and then I think it's almost like she's like, what am I doing? I shouldn't be playing with this. And then she just stops and walks away. Um, other toys don't seem to really grab her attention so much. But the closest I've gotten to playing with her, and this is something that's just happened like in the past few weeks, is she'll like be sitting in the doorway and looking at me. And then I go up to her and then she starts to walk towards the living room. And then if I start to like chase her, she'll like want like run under the table. Um, And then after I walk away, she'll walk back to where she was sitting before and stare at me again and make me do it all over again. So she likes to play chase, I guess.
That's cute. That's adorable. Well, so she really is very low maintenance, probably doesn't even need a household that has a lot of toys for her.
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's really, really good to know. Thank you so much for giving us all of this information on Stephanie Abigail. And just before we move on to the next one, I'm going to drop her link again. it is cdck.cc hyphen backslash STEPHANIE. That's cdck.cc backslash STEPHANIE. Thank you so much for your time, Abigail and Stephanie. We're going to move on to Ellie, who is fostering Peanut, also known as Beast. And I would really love to learn the story behind that. Just before we do, his link is cdck.cc backslash peanut hyphen beast. He is a 3 year, 2 month old white domestic short hair. Um, please tell us more about him, Ellie.
Hey everyone, this is Peanut. I wish I knew a little bit more about his double names. I don't, but it's kind of like a Batman situation, I like to think. But just to start off, he is a very handsome fellow. I haven't had many all white cats before, so I think it's very fun. And he has pretty green eyes as well. This is a pretty normal state for Peanut. He is a love bug. He's purring. He's making air biscuits. He loves having his head scratched or his shoulders or his neck or his chin. So he luxuriates in human affection. Um, he goes through different sort of phases throughout the day. If you are sitting on the couch hanging out, he wants to join you and get pets and scratches. But he also has his moments of uh, high energy and play. And what I appreciate about him as a cat is he's pretty good at self-initiating and sort of entertaining himself with toys. He tends to like string toys, shoelaces, the straps on my backpack, that kind of thing. He'll just grab a string and sort of throw it into the air and chase it around, and that kind of thing. He also enjoys a scratch pad. I think he would really like a cat tree because he also likes sitting in the window and looking out. So maybe an adopter who has room in their home for a cat tree would be great. He's a very friendly guy. He didn't take any time to settle in. He's never met a stranger from what I can tell. So anybody that I've had over, he instantly is engaging with them and looking for pets. And he enjoys sort of being with you. So if I'm in the kitchen cooking or washing dishes or anything, he'll kind of be in the kitchen with me, but not necessarily right next to me. He'll just sort of be nearby. So that's been a fun thing. He has a little bit of a dog vibe to him. So if you are looking to adopt a cat, but you want a little bit of a dog vibe, then I think Peanut's a pretty good guy for that.
Thank you so much for giving us this little like introduction into Peanut. He really just sounds so lovely and he does look really adorable. And I think I could hear some of the purrs, so that was a
Mhm.
really nice treat from him. You said that he loves string toys. Do you think what other kinds of toys does he really engage with? And you said that he goes through these phases from high energy to just cuddly low energy. How many times a day do you think he needs to play or wants to play?
Yeah, I would say one other toy that he enjoys is like the kicker toy, so kind of something that he can hold on to and bunny kick. when he is feeling a little more high energy and rambunctious. So that's a good thing to have on hand. And he'll also find those if you don't have one. So sometimes he'll bunny kick the edge of my carpet, which I've never seen before from a cat. So a bunny kicker toy would be good. And he has his little play moments maybe twice a day or so. But I will say, in terms of like a home and lifestyle, um, I don't have any other pets or people in my home, and I am away a good amount of time. So even though he is very sociable, he also does okay being alone and is okay with that. But I think maybe in an ideal setting for the rest of his life, having people around more often would be good to play with him and give him all the pets that he's looking for because he can't get enough.
No, that's really lovely to see. He's just really enjoying the pets and the scritches, and that's just so cute. Do you think you said that you don't have any other pets at home, but do you have any information about whether he does well with other pets? How does he do with cats or maybe even dogs?
Yeah, I have no information, unfortunately, on cats or dogs or children. I think other pets is always kind of a hard to say in advance without seeing it or testing it out. I think in general he would do fine with children as long as the children sort of know and understand and can read body language. He certainly never wants to hurt you, but I think he sometimes will get into like a play mode when he's getting some pets, especially if your pets wander more towards the lower half of his body, he might start to think that he can bunny kick. So that is the only thing I would say, but I think he would do well with a family in the sense that there'd be more people to hang out with and have good times with.
Yeah, he seems pretty low maintenance low maintenance in that sense. Do you think he does better with playtime that is initiated by another person, or do you think he prefers to maybe just sort of take his toys and play with them himself?
I think he's pretty happy with both. He won't really pass up an opportunity if there's some sort of string happening when I'm tying up my shoes to leave. He always likes to get involved with that. And even now he went from cuddle mode to play mode pretty quickly. So he's pretty good and ready to go with the flow on playtime and toys. But if he is feeling playful and you're not there or not available to play with him, he will figure that out himself, which is cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I see him just sort of getting like really interested in this caterpillar toy, I guess. He seems really, really chill, and just kind of like the right amount of playful and the right amount of relaxed, for people. And it seems like you said he does well being left alone, and so maybe might be okay in a house where people work, outside in an office. So that's really good to know. Just before we move on, does he have any specific food or treat preferences that we might want to know of, or is that just is he not very food motivated?
Yeah, he is food motivated in that he loves mealtime. I haven't really been giving him too many treats and he's been okay with that. Or he's just silently harboring resentment. But he definitely likes wet food and that's his preference. But he will also eat dry food and he's pretty good at sort of figuring out his own appetite and mealtime so he can free feed the dry food. So that's a plus, I think, for folks. And he's not wedded to any particular meal time, though he will also let you know when he's hungry, and that's when he's most vocal. Otherwise, he's mostly just purring. And I meant to mention earlier in terms of important things for potential adopters to know. Peanut is a very happy and healthy boy, but he is also FIV positive. So if you're new to cats, or this would be the first cat you're adopting, you're not much sure about that sort of thing, I would definitely encourage everyone to do their research. But the great news is that FIV positivity does not affect the quality or duration of most cats' lives, and they can be very fun and happy and healthy cats like Peanut. And there is also the potential that they can coexist with other cats as well, who are not FIV positive. So definitely something just to read up about and know about, and to chat with either your vet if you already have a cat, or the adoption counselors at CDCK to understand more about.
Thank you so much for that and for giving us a little insight into, just what exactly it means to have a cat with that is FIV positive. And yeah, he really just doesn't really seem to be affecting the quality of his life. And he seems like he's a pretty chill dude who's pretty happy with everything he's got in his life. So that's really lovely to know. Thank you so much for introducing us to Peanut today. For anyone who is interested in learning more about him, or looking at his page, just once again, I'm going to drop his link, which is cdck.cc/peanut, PEANUT hyphen beast, BEAST. And I guess we'll never know what the beast means. It's a mystery. But once again, it is cdck.cc/peanut hyphen beast. Thank you so much for your time, Ellie and Peanut. And we're going to move on to the last two cats we have today. If anyone is really looking for a celebrity in their household, I think these are the ones you'd want to snag. These are Taylor Swift and Harry Styles, fostered by Sue. Um, just before we start, I'll give you a little bit of an introduction into to T Swift and Harry Styles. Taylor is also known as Izzy, and Harry is also known as Kai. Um, they're both black domestic short hairs. One is a female, one is a male. They're both 5 months old, and Taylor's link is cdck.cc/T-Swift. And Harry Styles is cdck.cc/HARRYSTYLES. And with that, Sue, do you think you could tell us a little more about our little pop sibling duo?
Yeah, so actually I was waiting on sofa and protecting this treat and this batter from them, and they're really eager to digging on it. So it's like it was really hard to protecting it. So now it's their playful time, and let me begin with that. Let me show you their faces. So this is Harry, and he has really gorgeous bright yellow eyes, as you can see over here. And this is Taylor. She has like greenish yellow eyes and with like smaller part of the white part, and she has gorgeous black nose over here, as you can see. And they are both of them are 5 months old, so they are really playful and they are like really bonded. So they are like snuggling each other. Especially Harry really loves to hug his sister Taylor, and also he's sometimes a little bit like obsessed with my cat and me as well. So I can tell like he's a little bit greedy, but he's so cute. Like he's really obsessed with everything, like the feather, um, the other toys over here like this. So if I shaking it like this, oh, so he's still on the feather. Okay. But come over here. Okay, not
I
his
think he's
bar
really taken
today.
with that better.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really obsessed with the fatter today. Okay, could you give me the fatter? Thank you. Okay. So he is really playful and obsessed with the toys. So sometimes he's making kind of like scary sound, like growling, and then he says like "This is mine," and then he's just like catches it in his mouth and then just bring it where that he really wants to grooming it in his like safe space. But sometimes he's really gentle to wait for Taylor and give her time to catch the feather as well. And could you show it? No. So and
I think he hasn't had his fill yet.
yeah. So he was waiting so long, so maybe he was not. And Taylor is actually she's really into the bowl and she's really good at soccer. So she's always like kicking the ball and catching the ball and then even catch it on her mouth and then bring it down and yeah, it's like dribbling like this. So she's really good at it and she's really smart with her pose. So she can find any traits on like really difficult food puzzle. So she's really a smarty cat, I can tell.
So you got you've got two really playful, intelligent cats over there, and they are making their own name with the kinds of toys that they play. It looks like you said, Taylor is a bit of a soccer player over there. Do you think you could tell us a little more about, their routine? How do they spend their day together? And you said that you have another cat. How do they get along with the other cat in your house?
Yeah, so Harry is pretty really open to other cats. So he really loves his sister Taylor, but at the same time he was really wanted to play with my cat. So he was like making really cute sound, really high pitched meows to my cat, but actually unfortunately my cat doesn't like him. So she was just like hissed back and Harry didn't care, but actually Taylor was a little bit pissed off with that hissing sound. So Taylor just fight back with cute hissing, but like a few days after they are just like doing very well. And Taylor, I can say that Taylor has a really good manner. So right now you can see that she is just waiting for her turn after that Harry is like um just like giving up the feather. So she's just waiting over here like this. She's really a nice cat, I can tell. So she never bothers my resident cat, but sometimes Harry is really playful and he really wants to play with my cat. So sometimes he's like making a little bit piss off my cat. So I can see that like sometimes he is like scolded from my cat, so it's hilarious.
I guess there's only one way to learn, right? And he just seems like he's really friendly and open to meeting other cats, and it's just really sweet to see Taylor being protective of her brother over there. So it looks like she doesn't want him to be scolded by other cats, and I think that's just really sweet to see in this bonded pair over here. Um, you sort of gave us an idea of how they like to play, and it looks like it's not really that big of an issue that Harry likes to hog the toys because he gives Taylor a chance every once in a while, and so I think that's really sweet. Um, do you think they're both food motivated? Because you did say you were trying to keep some treats away from them. Do you think you could tell us a little more about their food preferences?
Yeah, so actually Taylor is pretty food motivated more than Harry, but Harry is not that picky as well. Let me drop down Selfin a little bit and then just open the treats to give them some treats. Sorry. Okay. it was a second. And and Harry is not that picky, and he's just like he's so gentle, so he's just like he doesn't bite my hand, but at the same time he can just pick that treat. And Taylor also doing that. They are just using their really small teeth, not the sharp ones. So they know that and I think that they just learned each other that the biting thing is really hard because they are just like if they are really playful and then aggressive sometimes that they are just biting each other and they are making really sad sound, and I think that they just learn so they don't harm me, and this is a really good thing I can say. And I think so I guess like they have no experience especially with the small kids, the young kids I mean, but I think that they will be really doing great because they just learned each other.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the best way for cats to learn is to play with each other, and I think it's really nice that they're considerate enough to take what they've learned to be gentle with you as well. Oh, I see that lovely tail go up there. Is that Taylor?
Yeah, it was Taylor.
Oh, that's so sweet. You know, what other kinds of people can they be around? You said that maybe it might not be best for them to be around very small children because they themselves are learning how to be gentle right now. What kind of homes do you think would be best for Harry and Taylor?
I think that the actual experience is like my guests just visited my home, and they were pretty indifferent to my guests, so that's a good sign for the cats. And I think that like even young children or like really a little small baby, I think that they are okay because I was saying that they don't bite them and also they are not hurting them. So that's what I was meant.
Oh, that's actually really cool to know. So look, maybe families might work, but it looks like they're more taken with other cats as opposed to people, from what you were saying, because they're indifferent to people visiting your house. How many times a day do you think they need to play?
Like as many as possible because they are young, but it's okay that because they are also pretty playing themselves like with these toys. So it's like their mic. I am telling them they are just like preparing their stage with this mic. So they are sometimes they are using it like a standing mic like this, and also like doing the bunny kick, so they are playing like this all day if I just drop them down on the floor. So it's like I can tell like even though they are really young, but it's like low maintenance.
That's really lovely to hear. What kinds of households do you think they would do the best in?
Um I think like well for me like I am living myself alone, but like sometimes whenever my friends just visit they are not that alarmed or something, so I think that like all of the household will be best for them. So yeah.
That's actually really nice and like a wonderful marketable quality for these little pop stars is that they're pretty easygoing and would do well in any kind of household. Um, I my understanding is, you know, since they are a bonded pair, they definitely need to be adopted together, or at least with another cat in the household. Is that correct?
Um, I mean, like they are really open to any option, I guess. But like for Taylor, she needs a little bit like at first like she's a little bit shy, but Harry is really brave. So I think that Harry really helped Taylor at first to adapt to a new environment. So it would be really great to if they can be adopted together. But if not, I don't think that's not a really serious problem at all.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Are there any stories or anecdotes that you would like to share about them? Any funny instances or any cute instances that really like make their personalities shine through?
Oh yeah, actually there's one. So this is my desk, and as you can see that my bed is pretty close to my desk chair, and like most of the day I am just sitting on the desk and working or just watching something through my laptop. And sometimes like Taylor is pretty independent, but sometimes she needs to be like snugged. I'm sorry, snuggle or like patting something like that, then she just like knocking on my back really gently and then really make a cute sound like meowing to me, singing to me, and requesting that she needs some my pat and my attention like that, so that's really cute.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So, I mean, they're both just very musically gifted cats that would never you'd never have a boring day with them around. And thank you so much for giving us, these little nuggets of their life so that we can learn more about them. Just once again, for anyone who is interested in adopting Taylor Swift or Harry Styles, hopefully together, that would be the best. Their links are cdck.cc/TSWIFT, T Swift, and cdck.cc/ HARRYSTYLES, Harry Styles. So that's cdck.cc/T Swift and cdck.cc/Harry Styles. Thank you so much for your time, Sue, Taylor, and Harry. And with that, we are bringing our virtual cat adoption event to a close. Thank you once again to all of the lovely fosters who joined us today and, for everything that you do to support CDCK and its mission. Just once again, to anyone who's been listening, who's interested in getting involved either through volunteering opportunities, through foster opportunities, or anyone who wants to donate to what we do, because really we do not have a physical shelter, and we really do rely on the support of our lovely fosters. Please go to citydogsrescuedc.org. And with that, we bring today's event to a close. Thank you all once again for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please reach out. We really hope to find these adorable, adorable cats. They're forever homes, and we really appreciate you listening to us today. Thank you, everyone, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday.